Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Helen Owushini and I am so happy that you are here. Thank you to every one of you that has subscribed to my channel and has been watching my videos so far. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about items you need to bring when you are traveling. First of all, I'll just advise that you have a checklist, like a notepad or a book, or even if it's Excel, where you kind of just have these items written down so that you'll be able to check off the items when you have packed them. Okay, so the very first thing that I think you need to bring are all your documents. Everything that has your name on it should come along with you on this trip. It could be your school qualifications, like your educational qualifications. It could be your professional certifications. It could be even you should bring your driver's license. You should even bring proof of your previous work history, anything to just show that you have worked in your previous place of employment. So anything work related, please bring it. You also need to bring your marriage certificate if you're married. You need to bring the immunization records of your kids if you already have kids and they have been taking their immunizations. The reason why this is necessary is if you do not bring this immunization record, you're going to have to start from the beginning, and that is going to waste so much time. And I mean, you'll be making several trips to the health center and you do not want that. So please bring every document. You also need to bring your NIN, your national identity number. You need to bring that. Every form of ID that you have, please bring it. Also, everything that you used whilst applying for this immigration, every document that you used, every supporting document, please bring it along, as you do not want a situation whereby you get here and you start having to ask someone, please can you help me bring this. It will just save you so much time and money. So please bring all your documents. In my own case, I had a bag or like a folder where I kept all my documents, so when it was time to travel, I just carried that bag and that saved me all the stress. So please try and gather all your documents ahead of time. Okay, so the next thing that I'd like to talk about that I think you should bring is foodstuff. Now, foodstuff is kind of very personal. It depends on what you like to eat. If you're somebody who likes to eat maybe Nigerian food or African food or any kind of, you have special meals that you enjoy eating, I'd advise that you bring it. In my own case, I did air cargo, so I was able to stuff all that heavy items for the cargo. If you're not doing air cargo, of course your space will be limited. You just have like 2 boxes allowed or something like that. But if you intend to cargo items either by air or by sea, this would afford you more space. So what kind of food items am I talking about? If you like to eat swallow, for example, every kind of swallow that you like to eat, please bring it along. It's not like this food stuff are not available here. They actually are, but it's just that if you're landing newly, you don't want to have to start bothering your head about making trips to the African store, because in all honesty, African store is very expensive. So you want to bring things that can last you at least 6 months, or if possible 1 year before you start thinking of buying food. So if you can, every kind of swallow that you like, if it's yam flour, if it's gari, if it's pound dough, anything at all that you like, please bring it along. Then you can also bring your dried foods like dried fish, egusi. You can also bring ogbono, you can also bring peppers, but make sure that all these things are very dried. That's the only way they will be able to survive the whole journey. So everything has to be dried for weeks. I know people who even brought in locust beans because they had dried them for weeks and the moisture had left the locust beans, so it wasn't smelling or anything like that. So if you can, or if you would like, you can also bring locust beans, but make sure that they are very dried. If not, you know how locust beans smells. Trust me, if anything is smelling from your luggage, they are going to take it from you. Okay, so you can also bring that. In my case, I also brought oil, but that's because, like I said, I used air cargo. If you're flying and you're not doing any cargoing, please know that oil is not allowed on the plane. I know some people said things like you can freeze it. Me, I don't know about that one. If you know that you're going by air and you're not adding any extra luggage, please don't bother. But if you can, if you're planning to cargo goods, you can bring your oil as much as you like. You can also bring vegetables, but make sure that they are also really dried. So like your afang, like your bitter leaf, like your ugu, like your whichever vegetable that you like, just make sure that it is very, very dry. It's important that all these items are dried and packed neatly, because if there's any form of moisture in any of them, of course it will spoil the goods, and that will just make your whole luggage smelly, and you may see things that you do not like insects and all of that. And if you get to immigration to pick up those items and they see all of those things coming out of them, trust me, they're going to collect all of them. So please make sure that all kinds of foodstuff are really dried. You can also bring noodles. It depends on what kind of noodles you like, but just know that chicken noodles are not allowed. Also all kinds of seasonings that you like. So if you like spices, any kind of spices, not like these spices are not available here, but it may just take some time for you to get to know which one you actually like. So your favorite spices, please bring them. If you like soya spice, pepper soup spice, banga spice, yaji, whatever spice you like, please bring them along. Also seasonings, all your seasonings that you use for your cooking, please bring them along. However, chicken seasoning is also not allowed. So anything chicken related is not allowed, but every other kind of seasoning or spice can be brought along. So please pack them, because you will need them. You don't understand the way the spices are here. They are totally different from what you're used to, and it may take some time to get used to what's available here. So please bring the ones that you already have and are easy to get. Also, I'd advise that you do not bring milk. I know that milk is something a lot of us like, but please, milk is not allowed. Any form of dairy is not allowed, so don't bother bringing milk. If it's seen, it will be seized. Okay, so don't bring your milk, but you can bring, if you like Milo or Ovaltine or whatever you like, you can bring it, but just know that milk is not allowed. You can also bring golden morn if you like golden morn. Any kind of food that you like, just know that what's not allowed is we don't allow dairy products. You don't allow anything beef related as well, any kind of meat. So you can't bring meat, you can't bring shaki or pomo but you can bring like dried fish, as long as it's not fresh, as long as it's really, really dried, you can also bring that. So it just depends on you. What kind of food stuff do you enjoy eating? Bring them along, as long as they are very dried. Your crayfish, your fish, your ogbono, your egusi, whatever dried food that you like, please bring them along, because you would need them. You don't want to come here and start thinking, oh, what will I eat? Oh, maybe I should go to. No, you don't have the time for that. So just bring everything along with you. Okay, so the next thing that I'd like to talk about that I think is really important are your personal items. Your personal items could be anything that you know that you cannot do without. Okay, so let me first talk about the issue of clothes. In all honesty, don't bother bringing clothes, because you would have to buy clothes when you get here. If you're landing in the winter time, of course you can bring one jacket. So go to Yaba, for those of you in Lagos, and buy a winter jacket, and you can also buy sweaters, maybe like 2 or 3, but don't overdo it. Just buy only one jacket. When you get here, you will buy a more appropriate jacket. Okay, so but then jeans, you need to bring jeans. You need, if you have your favorite jeans that you wear, you can bring, and this also applies to guys as well. If you have your favorite jeans, you can bring. As for ladies, I would say shoes, don't bother. If as long as they're not sneakers, you can bring sneakers, because I mean that's what everybody wears here. But like all those high-heeled shoes and sandals, flip-flops, I'm not really sure you would use them so much. If you have, in fact, I feel like you shouldn't even bother bringing them. But sneakers, good to go. You can also bring your jeans, like I mentioned as well. Now when it comes to natives, I think this is quite just dependent on what you like. In my own case, I brought like 3, 4, 5 native attires. I've only worn one since I came over a year ago, and partly I'll blame you on the fact that there's a restriction, so we're not really going out and things like that. But if you're somebody that you like to wear native attires a lot, like your Ankara or your lace, you can bring it too, but don't overdo it. Just don't overdo it, because I feel like you may not really like to wear it. And then for the guys, you can bring your article, or maybe just article, in all honesty, where you just wear maybe once or twice if you're going for a Nigerian wedding or something like that. But other than that, I don't think you'll be needing it, because for the most part the weather is cold. You can't be wearing native when you're going out. So I would say don't overdo it on the native. Maybe bring 2, 3 Ankara. unless you're somebody who really likes Ankara and you have to wear Ankara maybe to church on Sunday, every Sunday, well, maybe you can bring. But if you're somebody who is totally indifferent like I am, don't bother. And like I said, I mean, we're in a lockdown, nobody's really going anywhere, there's no party anywhere, so I don't think it's necessary. Of course, we hope that things will get better, so you can bring them, but just do not overdo it. And then also, if you have kids, I would say don't bother bringing any clothes for kids, because they outgrow clothes pretty fast. By like every 3 months, I feel like I have to shop for my daughter because she's constantly outgrowing everything. So for kids, don't bother bringing anything for them, like shoes or clothes. I feel like it will just, they won't wear it very long before they would need to buy a new set. Okay, so that's it for clothes. I would also say for you can also bring your underwear. If you have favorite, maybe like your favorite bra or whatever you like, you can also bring that. Now for other personal items, I would say if you're a lady, you should bring wigs. Wigs are like lifesavers in this place because making your hair here is very expensive. And I wouldn't say that somebody that is landing newly should not start looking for the next hair salon or something like that. You don't have that kind of time or even money, because making hair is like $120 or $100 sometimes. So you don't want to be spending your money like that. So I'll say wigs are very good. If you have very good quality durable wigs, please bring them along. Braids as well. If you have like expression braids, I think you can also bring them, but don't overdo it. I think you should not overdo all the braids, but I think wigs are better off, and because they are quicker. As for the braids, you can bring them, but don't just bring several because even braiding your hair here is very expensive. If you're a guy, I feel like guys is more affordable. So guys, to cut your hair, at least last time I asked, is like $50. That's fair compared to ladies where you're paying $100. So if you're a lady, you can bring your wigs. As a guy, I think you should just bring your clipper. That would help as well. Your partner can cut your hair for you, or your friend, just barb everything scored. So yes, that's what I think you need to bring as per hair related, things for ladies and for guys. Also, I would like to say that you should bring things like so if there are particular skincare items that you like to use, please bring them along with you. So I'm thinking like maybe your black soap. If you enjoy using black soap, if it's something that you always want to use, you never ever want to be without, you can bring it as well. You can also bring shea butter. Actually, shea butter is very important because for somebody like me, my skin is really dry during the winter. So the only thing that can save my skin is shea butter. So shea butter is your best friend. If you use it, you should bring shea butter. You can bring your black soap. You should also bring rub or aboniki, whichever one you like, because when it gets really cold, you would need something to keep you warm. So rub or aboniki, you should not forget that. You should bring your shea butter. You should bring your black soap. Any other skincare products that you like or beauty products. If you have your favorite makeup, you can bring them. I mean, it doesn't mean you now go and start buying makeup because you want to travel. If you already have a set that you're using, you can just bring that along whilst you're looking for the one that you would switch to. Okay, so maybe like your favorite powder, your favorite eye pencil, your favorite brow pencil, your favorite foundation, or, just bring them along. And then after that particular set finishes, you can then start thinking of buying another set. So that's it for your personal items. I think it just depends on what you like. Please make a list, like I said, so that you can be checking off the list as you pack along. Okay, so the next thing that I would like to talk about that I think you should bring are medications. Now, medication can be I feel like you should not overdo it, but if you have specific prescription drugs that you take very often, please bring them along with you, because you don't know when you'll be granted your health card and maybe be able to see a doctor or things like that. So if you have prescription drugs that you take, please bring them along with you. Then also, I know I went shopping for drugs when I was coming, so like your basic drugs for maybe cold or flu, or maybe for allergies, or your painkillers, you can bring those ones as well. But what I did in my case was I went to a pharmacy and I told the pharmacist that I was traveling and I needed some drugs to take along with me. He kept prescribing different things. In fact, half of those drugs that he gave me, I have not yet used them, and they're probably going to expire soon. So I think you should actually bring what you think you need, maybe just like for a month, but don't overdo it. So your prescription drugs, yes. So now your maybe cold drugs for cold, for flu, for maybe painkillers that you have. These drugs are even actually available over the counter. You may not even need to bring anything, because you can actually walk into like Walmart, for example, and go to the pharmacy section and speak to a pharmacist that, oh, you're having headache, and he can prescribe Tylenol or whatever. So there are some drugs that are actually available over the counter. But if you know that you don't want to come and start spending money like that, you can bring like your paracetamol or your Advil or whatever it is that you feel like your body responds to, you know, whatever painkillers or whatever drugs for flu, especially if you're landing during the winter months, you know. And again, another reason why I think this may even be necessary is if you land any moment around this time and you may have to maybe isolate yourself, you may not be able to be going to maybe the pharmacy. So just bring something that you think you can use around that time. So like your vitamin C, your painkillers, again, like I said, any prescription drugs that you have, and all of that. So you should also bring those ones when you're coming. So the final thing that I would like to say that I think you need to bring when you're coming are your gadgets. Now for your gadgets, it depends on what kind of gadgets you have. So maybe like your laptops, your chargers, your iPads, your cameras, if you have, you know, anything that you have, even your phone. And I think this phone issue, you should actually do some reading, because not all phones can work here depending on the phone type. I know, at least I'm sure of Apple devices and some of the Android devices like maybe Samsung or LG, but I don't know about some other ones. So please find out if you're using, I'm not sure if Techno works here, so just try and find out if your phone can work here. So if you're using like Apple, any Apple devices, I'm sure that Apple works here, or I'm sure that Samsung works here. So bring those along with your chargers as well. And then your power bank. Now power bank, you know, there's light here every time, so you may not even need to charge your phone, but at least for the journey, you don't know, maybe you're at the airport, you may be stuck and you may need to make a call or something like that. Yes, there are charging points at the airport as well, but what if you're standing or you need to be walking, you know, stuff like that. So yes, please bring your power bank if you have them already. Also, if you have a game, so maybe like you have your PS5 or whatever, please bring it as well. One thing I would also advise is that you take note of the fact that the sockets here are quite different. When I was coming, I brought hair dryer, I brought calling one, different things, totally forgetting that the socket was different. When I came here, I'm like, what? But then you can actually buy adapters that would help to convert that, but just keep that in mind that the sockets may be different. So look out for gadgets, or you know, that can fit into the sockets that are available here. So those are basically the items that I think you should bring. I feel like you should not try to overdo it, so that you have enough space in your box and not have to pay for extra luggage, because extra luggage can be really, really expensive. So just try and pack the major things, as far as I'm concerned, are like your documents. As for clothes, please give out all your clothes to your sisters or your brothers. You don't need them, and you would buy them here over time. By the time you start working and making an income, I feel like you'll be able to buy clothes for yourself. Clothes are not even a necessity. You may even add weight, you know, things like that. So just don't overdo it. Just leave the clothes, dash them out. Just bring maybe like your jeans or maybe like your sneakers. Then if you have personal body care items or skincare items that you enjoy using, you can bring those as well. So like your maybe like your facial products, or your maybe shea butter or black soap or whatever personal skincare or body care product that you enjoy using, you can bring them as well, while you try to find the ones that will work here for you. Then if you have kids, like I said, don't bother bringing their clothes or your shoes, because they will not wear them for long before they would outgrow them. Then also you need to bring your medication, you need to bring your gadgets as well. So those are the kind of items that I think you should be bringing on your relocation journey. I know it sounds small, but the major thing for me was food, and because I couldn't fit food in my box, I had to do cargo. If you know that you do not plan to cargo, that's equally fine. But if you know that you can cargo items, please cargo as much as you like. Just take note of the items that are not allowed, like your chicken items, maybe like chicken seasoning, or maybe chicken noodles or dairy products. Every other thing, please cargo it if you can afford it, either by air or by sea. As for the other items like your vegetables, just make sure that they are extremely dry and crunchy before you pack them up or seal them up. Even your fish as well, make sure that it is really dry before you bring them. So those are the items that I think are necessary. If you have any questions or if you have anything that you're not clear about, please leave for me in the comment section and I'll be there to respond to you. If there's any other thing that you think someone should bring, please let me know. Please do not forget your documents. That's the most important. You don't want to have to start calling someone to send something down for you from Nigeria. So please, if you like my video, please like it, please share it, and please subscribe to my channel. I will see you in my next video. Bye.